At this moment, you may begin to notice how, even in the very depth of this experience, you can choose to let go of anything you've been holding on to, anything you've believed, and you might even sense how this very choice is unfolding effortlessly within you. It's almost as if, in this space, forgiveness is not something you have to do, but something you simply allow to happen. You can feel it right now, can't you? The soft release, the gentle unfolding, as if with each breath, the more room, the more freedom, the more space you create. And just for a moment, imagine that everything you've ever believed about yourself, about others, and even about your Creator, is like a thread that you can gently unravel. You might notice the tension, the burden, and even the pain all start to loosen, almost as if the very idea of unforgiveness begins to melt away in the warmth of your awareness. You can sense, in this moment, nothing is standing in your way. You're worthy of the freedom that comes with forgiveness. In fact, forgiveness has always been waiting for you. And it's okay to feel that deep knowing, to trust that you're willing right now to forgive yourself for anything and everything. You can feel how that willingness begins to create a space inside you, a space where you're free to forgive yourself no matter what. Just like you can choose to breathe in and breathe out. Forgiveness is a choice you can make with every moment, isn't it? There's a deep and quiet knowing within you that everything you've done or thought or experienced or even imagined has already been met with understanding. So imagine just for a moment. The very belief in your unworthiness is starting to dissolve. And as it dissolves, you may feel something new emerging from within you. Something bright, something soft, and something completely, absolutely free. You may begin to notice how it feels to know, in the very core of your being, that you're forgiven. For every step you've taken, for every thought you've had, for every belief you've held. There's nothing left to hold on to, nothing to prove, and everything to embrace. And as you continue to breathe deeply, you might notice how naturally your body becomes lighter, more relaxed and freer. The more you embrace this moment, the more you allow yourself to be forgiven for anything you've believed was unforgivable. The more your sense of worth grows, just like a seed planted in fertile soil, growing with each moment, each thought, each breath you take. And isn't it fascinating how simply allowing yourself to be forgiven begins to transform everything? You can release, and in that release, you may notice how forgiveness is not a gift you give to yourself, but a truth you discover that's within you. It's not something you have to earn. It's something that's always been there, just waiting for you to see it. It's as if the universe itself has been whispering to you, you're worthy, you're enough, you're loved. And in this moment, you may realize that to forgive yourself, it's simply to remember what you've always known, to allow what's always been true to surface within you. What would it feel like in this moment to know there's absolutely nothing that stands between you and that pure, unshakable forgiveness? What would it feel like to deeply and completely accept that you're already forgiven? You don't have to do anything to earn it. You don't have to try harder. You don't have to wait for permission. It's simply your birthright. It's always been yours. And as you allow yourself to open up to this experience, you can begin to see, almost as if in a dream, that forgiveness is like a light flowing through you. A light that shines brighter and brighter. Not only for you, but for those around you. It's as if this light is the very essence of your being, your Christ itself, shining the truth that you're worthy, you're deserving, and you always have been. You might notice how, as this light grows brighter, you feel more and more aligned with a deep knowing that you're worthy of love, of forgiveness, and of the journey ahead. It's almost as if, at this very moment, your sense of self-worth is expanding beyond anything you ever thought possible. How does it feel to know that you're exactly where you need to be? and that everything you experienced has brought you to this place of profound peace and acceptance. And you may begin to sense, almost in a whisper, that this forgiveness is not just about the past, but about the future as well. Each step you take from now on, each decision, each thought, and each choice can be grounded in the knowing that you're already forgiven, and you always will be. So imagine just for a moment how each new choice is made with the confidence of someone who knows that they're worthy, they're deserving, and they're free. You might find it almost effortless now to release any lingering feelings of unforgiveness, knowing that each part of you that once felt burdened is now free. It's like peeling away an old layer, revealing the fresh, vibrant you, always ready, always open to the next step, always moving forward with the confidence that nothing holds you back. And you may even notice how easy it is to forgive others, as you now understand, on a deep level, that forgiveness is not just an action, it's a state of being. And with that knowing, it becomes clear that you're no longer attached to the old stories, old beliefs, or old wounds. Instead, you stand firm, grounded in your truth, knowing you're worthy of every blessing, every gift, and every journey ahead, because you're free. Now, as you gently rest in this space, it's clear that forgiveness, it isn't something that you're doing, it's something you're being. And as you're being forgiven, so too do you forgive. And with that, the power to heal, to move forward, to live fully in the light of who you truly are, flows through you effortlessly. You're worthy, you're loved, you're free. And now in this moment, you can stand in the full power of your being, knowing that you're whole, and that you're always, always forgiven. So as you relax, you may begin to notice how the very nature of this moment seems to hold you, as if the world itself is gently supporting you, inviting you to release any burdens that you've been carrying. So almost as if the very air around you is filled with an energy that naturally allows you to let go of the past, to release any thoughts, any memories, any judgments. You might even begin to realize forgiveness is not something to achieve, but something to receive. Something that flows to you effortlessly, almost like water filling an empty glass, just waiting for you to allow it in. And in that moment of allowing, you might notice how, almost without effort, you begin to sense that everything you ever believed about yourself or others, every thought that ever felt like a weight on your shoulders, it begins to fade. It's as if you're standing in a vast open field, free to move, free to be. And all those old heavy beliefs, they're like the wind blowing through the trees, passing by, and leaving you standing here open and free. It may be that in this space, you can feel how the mind itself has always had the power to release, to forgive, to heal. Forgiveness, it's simply the natural movement of the mind when it sees the truth. And the truth is, nothing has ever been truly unforgivable. Not what you've done, not what others have done, not even the judgments you've held against yourself. All of that, those old stories, those old beliefs, they're simply passing clouds in the sky. And you, in this moment, are the vast expanse of the sky itself, being open, clear, and limitless. What if, just for a moment, you allowed yourself to deeply know that forgiveness has never been something you needed to earn? Because you've always been worthy, you've always been deserving, and you've always been loved. Since the very beginning. Can you sense right now the subtle shift inside of you? The release, the gentle lifting of all that once felt heavy, knowing at this very moment it's all being healed, it's all being released, and you're standing in your full power, free of guilt, free of shame, free of regret. Now as you continue to breathe deeply, notice how you can begin to observe yourself with new eyes, eyes that don't judge, eyes that simply see you. You may sense how it feels to look at yourself and to realize deeply that everything you ever thought about yourself was only a reflection of what you believed at the time. And the beautiful truth is that right now, you can choose to believe something else. You can choose to believe that you're whole, that you're forgiven, that your past has no power over you unless you allow it to. And as you allow these new beliefs to enter your consciousness, notice how they begin to permeate your very being. Just like the sunlight streaming through a window, these new truths, they begin to fill every corner of your mind and your heart. I'm worthy of forgiveness. I'm deserving of peace. I'm free from the past. And as these words settle into your subconscious, you begin to realize how effortlessly they integrate with who you really are. What if, in this very moment, you could allow yourself to trust that everything you've experienced, whether it was joy, pain, love, or loss, was just part of a journey that's only led you here. And here, right now, in this space, you're free. Free to forgive, free to let go, free to move forward, knowing that you're worthy of all that's good and loving in the world. So take a moment now to imagine yourself standing in front of a mirror. And as you gaze into the reflection of your own eyes, notice how you can see beyond the surface, beyond the judgments, beyond the mistakes, beyond the old stories. What do you see? Perhaps in that reflection you see the truth that you're perfect, whole and complete. The truth you've always been forgiven, even in those moments when you didn't know it. It's as if your true self has been waiting for you all along, and now in this moment you're ready to see yourself for who you truly are. And as you continue to feel this deep knowing settling within you, you may begin to notice how, with every breath you take, you feel more aligned with your Creator, with your own higher self, with your fellow human beings. And it's as if in this moment a divine connection opens up, one that's unbreakable and eternal. And in that connection you may begin to feel the truth of forgiveness flowing effortlessly, not only to yourself but to others as well. It becomes easier, doesn't it? Easier to forgive the past, easier to forgive others, and even easier to forgive yourself. And as this forgiveness flows through you, you may realize how it opens up space for love, for compassion, for a new expansive way of being. Just as a tree doesn't struggle to grow, you too grow without struggle. All it takes is the simple act of allowing forgiveness, allowing freedom, allowing yourself to be worthy of the journey ahead. It's almost as if your whole life has been preparing you for this moment, the moment when you finally remember that you're loved, you're worthy, and you're free to live your life fully and completely. So now imagine the future and see yourself moving through your life, light and free, no longer burdened by the past, no longer tethered by guilt or fear. And each decision you make is grounded in the knowing that you're forgiven, that you're worthy, and that you're deserving of all that's good. How would that feel? What would it look like if, from this moment forward, you made every decision, every action, from a place of deep self-worth, deep forgiveness and deep love? And as you stand in this future version of yourself, notice how everything feels easier, more natural, more aligned with who you really are. It's as if this journey that you're on, it's always been leading you towards this moment of clarity, this moment of profound inner peace, where you finally understand that forgiveness was never something that you had to chase. It was always there, just waiting for you to remember. Now in this moment, you may begin to realize that forgiveness is not a destination, but a way of being, a state of mind, a way of living. And as you embrace this truth, you can feel how everything shifts, how your body feels lighter, how your mind feels clearer, how your heart feels more open. And with that, you stand firm in the knowledge that you're worthy of love, worthy of forgiveness, and worthy of the journey ahead. And as this truth settles deeply within you, remember, you can return to this space anytime you wish. Whenever you need to remember who you truly are, whenever you need to reconnect with your own worthiness, your own forgiveness, you can simply pause, breathe, and know deeply and completely that you're already forgiven, already free, and always worthy of love. As you continue to integrate this truth, feel it growing stronger, more natural.